We come together from far places, and in the very coming we discover the truth that we were never apart. We are one in spirit, we are one in soul. Distance melts like mist before the sun when one presence is acknowledged. We have not assembled to add noise to noise, nor to trade the slogans of one camp for another. We have come to rest in the quiet and to recognize what is already so. One flock, one shepherd, here and now. Other sheep I have, the Master said, and there shall be one flock and one shepherd. This is not a hope for another time. It is the life we are in now. Let us then see our purpose, simply and humbly. We are not here to win arguments. We do not come to bend the world to our opinion or shout down the shouter with a louder shout. We are here to hear. God is the Word. God does not send the Word as a messenger from afar. God appears in the midst of us as the Word. It is this Word that we hear in our ears and in our inner ear, whispering, "Be not afraid, it is I." In that whisper there is already guidance. In that whisper there is already sufficiency. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. The world will shout. Oh, yes, it will rattle its tin cups and bang its drums. Headlines, forecasts, graphs, and alarms. Let it shout. We distinguish at the outset the shouter and the shepherd. The shouter commands obedience through fear and urgency. The shepherd leads by presence. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. We train our attention, not by straining, but by yielding to the tone of the inner voice that never argues, never frightens, and never hurries. In that tone, we recognize our home. So we take our stand, not against, but within. Present tense, not postponed. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Not I will be shepherded when the news improves, not I shall not want when I have arranged enough safeguards, but is now here. Peace is not a project. Peace is presence recognized. We live and move and have our being in God, and because of that we do not bargain for quietude. We awaken to it. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. Let us agree together to this beginning, a holy consent. We will not grant ultimacy to appearances. Never give power to appearances. We will be informed without being formed by fear. We will let the one who is in the midst be our organizer, our counselor, our pace. One motive, one desire, one aim, to know Him aright. And as we turn within, even now a stillness spreads. Be still and know that I am God. In this stillness we are already gathered. In this knowing we are already led. None of these things move us, for we are one flock under one shepherd, present and sufficient now. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. The world shouts, and the shout is designed to seize the nerves. It bids the thumb to flick, 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 and the eyes to drink a torrent that has no bottom. The body learns to brace. The breath shortens, and then the marketplace of attention rings its bell, trades in alarm, and calls it wisdom. But we who have taken our stand within must hear this clearly. Our crisis is not in the headlines. Our crisis is in consenting to be shepherded by the shout. The world can shout, but it cannot be your shepherd. Learn this separation, gentle and firm. To be informed is not to be inhabited. To know the conditions of the day is not to yield the sanctuary of our being to those conditions. There is a window and there is a house. You may look out and observe the storm. You do not move your furniture onto the lawn. We live and move and have our being in God. We do not relocate to the weather. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. How then do we know if we are following the shouter or the shepherd? We apply the shepherding test. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and a stranger will they not follow. Right here, in this breath, what voice is moving you? Measure not by volume, but by character. The shouter hurries, argues, frightens, demands allegiance by threat. The shepherd is presence itself, quiet, steady, without pressure, without panic. Be not afraid, it is I. That is the mark. Where that tone is, there is our path. We do not refuse facts, we refuse fear its throne. Compassion asks us to see suffering, yes, to see it without yielding our center to it. The Master looked upon multitudes and was moved with compassion, yet he did not become their fear. He spoke, "Fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom." He fed, he healed, but never by bargaining with appearances. Never give power to appearances. Thou couldst have no power over me except it were given of the Father. Let me tell you a simple story. A young woman wrote me that each night she fell asleep with the glow of her handset burning her eyes, war, illness, markets, storms, until her heart pounded and her dreams ran like wild dogs. One night, exhausted, she placed the device on her chest and whispered, "Lord, is this thy voice?" And into the quiet came only, "Peace, be still." She did not throw away her news. She put it on the table where it belonged and sat where she belonged, in the secret place of the Most High. In the morning she read what she needed, made a calm call to a neighbor who was alone, and went to her work with a clear mind. Informed, but not inhabited. Led, but not driven. None of these things moved her. This is our rule and our refuge. The world can shout, but it cannot be your shepherd. The flesh may tremble for a moment. The breath may catch, but in the acknowledgement, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want," the nerves remember their true home. We return again and again to the inner word. God is the Word. God appears in the midst of us as the Word. In that Word we are guided, we are steadied, we are taught how to see and how to serve without losing our peace. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. None of these things move me. Let us hear that not as bravado, not as clenched jaw and tightened fists, but as the natural poise of a life resting where it belongs. It is not willpower, it is being. It is not defiance, it is recognition. The twig bends with the breeze and does not break because its life is in the rooted tree. We are not twigs upon the lawn of circumstance, we are branches of a living vine. In Him we live and move and have our being. When being is acknowledged, composure is the fruit. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. Oneness realized dissolves the notion of opposing powers. What would a second power be, and where would it stand if we live and move and have our being in God? Does the fish soar to find the ocean, or the wave wrestle the sea? The shadow on the wall may look like a figure with teeth, but touch it and you find no substance. Turn and see the light. The shadow is nothing in itself, so with appearances. We do not arm ourselves to battle shadows, we awaken to the light. Never give power to appearances. Here is the paradox that frees us. God is not power in competition. What would God strive against? Against God. There is only one presence, and because there is only one presence, there is only one power, only good, only good. Not a two-kingdom universe, not a tug-of-war of light and dark with us as rope. The Master said, "Thou couldst have no power over me except it were given thee from above." That is not bravado, that is vision. It is sight restored to reality. Therefore our declaration is simple and steady. None of these things move me. Headlines, symptoms, deficits, tempests of opinion, these are the shadows on the canvas. We honor facts as facts while refusing to enthrone them as cause. We look out the window without moving our furniture onto the lawn. We do not heal fear by wrestling fear. We let the inner word speak into the room. Be not afraid. It is I. God is the Word. God appears in the midst of us as the Word, and in the hearing of that Word, the hooks fall from the headline. How then shall we meet the day? Put on the armor of oneness. Before the calendar, before the feed, before the hand reaches for its glowing oracle, sit still and remember one presence, one life, one law, one mind. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Whisper it until the whisper whispers you. Let the little stranger within nod, as if to say, from here on in I live your life. Then rise, informed but unpossessed, available but unhurried, clear-eyed and gentle-hearted. This is not escape. It is stance. It is the stance that let Daniel rest among lions and the three stand in the furnace cool. It is the stance that let the master sleep in the storm and then say, peace, be still. When oneness is our dwelling, stability is not an achievement. It is our native climate. We live and move and have our being in God, and so none of these things move us. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. Now we let the whisper become our prayer. Not many words, not bargaining words, hearing. God is the Word. God does not send a word as a courier. God appears in the midst of us as the Word. True prayer is not our speech. It is our ear. It is the inward reception of assurance that already is. Be not afraid. It is I. I am in the midst of you. Hear that not as memory, but as presence speaking now. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. We have tried, some of us for years, to declare our way into peace. Declarations have their place as door knockers, but the door is opened by hearing, not by pounding. We are not moving God. We are consenting to be moved by God. I can of mine own self do nothing, said the Master, and then the works flowed because he waited to hear what the Father would have him do. So with us, holy listening is the end of mental manipulation. Holy listening is the silence in which the Word stands up within us and lives. Consider the simple analogy. The music does not begin when you turn the dial. The music is already in the room, already in the air. Tuning is not creating. Tuning is consenting. Prayer is tuning. We turn the dial of attention from the shouter to the shepherd and discover the song that was never absent. My sheep hear my voice, not by strain, not by argument, but by recognition. Listen, fear not, little flock. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. In that sentence, the pressure dissolves and direction is born. Let us adopt a small and holy rule. 60 seconds before any headline, just 60, before the feed, before the figures. We sit, we breathe once as if God were our breath, and we say within, speak, Lord, for thy servant heareth. Then we are quiet, no pleading, no planning, no composing affirmations to persuade the sky. We offer only consent. Lead me, use me, live thy life as me. In that minute, the little stranger within nods. Oh, yes. Often we hear only a hush. And yet in that hush, the hooks already fall from the day's voices. And the fruits, they are gentle and unmistakable. We discover we do not need to read everything. We are shown what to read. We do not need to carry everything. We are told what to release. We do not rush to act. We are given when to act, and how, and toward whom. Perhaps the inner word says, call the neighbor now, or close the screen and pray for the one whose name just rose, or read this report, not that one. And we find that in obeying the inner shepherd, our steps are unhurried and our hands are effective. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. We are led by the word we hear within, not by the words that shout without. When the inner assurance speaks, be not afraid. It is I the fever breaks, and wisdom has room to walk. Then we are informed, yet not inhabited by fear. Compassionate, yet not captured by panic. This is prayer as life, God as the Word, God in the midst, and we simply listening. Thank you, Father, we are home in Thee. Now we make the quiet turn from reaching to realizing, from chasing to awakening. Does the fish soar to find the ocean? It cannot. It need only awaken to the water that carries it. Does the wave scramble to become sea? It is sea. So with us, in Him we live and move and have our being. Our long pursuit of relief, new practice, new headline, new shelter dissolves when we recognize the simple truth. We are already in God, and God is already in us. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. Awake, not afloat. Afloat is to bob on the currents of circumstance, up with a kind report, down with a hard one, aimless between gusts of other people's fear. Awake is to stand at center while the world's waters come and go. The Master did not promise to lift us out of the sea. He revealed the sea as God's. He slept in the storm and then spoke, "Peace, be still." This is not escapism. This is abiding. We do not refuse facts. We refuse to treat them as cause. We look through the window at the weather and keep our furniture in the house. Never give power to appearances. How is this awakening received? By the humble door. We do not know how to pray. Let that confession be our key. We do not know how to arrange the world into our liking. We do not know which storm needs calming and which teaches us to walk. So we listen. Awake, thou that sleepest, and Christ shall give thee light. In the listening, the inner word says, "Be not afraid. It is I." And at once the need to escape thins out like mist. We remain, and in remaining, we are led. The shift is an identity shift. From seeker of safety to indwelt one, from how shall I survive to I and the Father are one. This is living grammar, present tense, not a slogan pinned to the wall, not I will be one when conditions soften. I am in God now. Try this as breath in motion, wherever you find yourself, on the roadway, in the market, before the screen. Inhale and acknowledge I am in God. Exhale and acknowledge God is in me. Then let both threads meet. There is only one. Let it repeat until it begins to repeat you. Only good, only good. You will notice a quiet fruit. The pressure to find an exit loosens. The hand stops grasping for yet another raft. Instead, the little stranger within nods and guides your step, your word, your glance. I live, yet not I. Christ liveth my life. Then compassion is not panic. Information is not terror. And action rises without hurry. Awake, we meet the same world from another altitude. No soaring needed, only seeing. And seeing, we can say without strain, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Be still, hear, abide. None of these things move us, for we dwell already in the presence that dwells in us. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. Never give power to appearances. Let us know what an appearance is, not in theory, but in the feel of it. An appearance is like a shadow on the wall, suggestive, shaped, sometimes dramatic, but without substance of its own. Touch it, and nothing resists your hand. Turn toward the light and see how quickly the shadow thins into nothingness. Headlines, trends, surges of panic, these are moving shadows. They point, they gesture, they try to bind the gaze, but they do not originate life, they do not sustain life, they do not have power over life. Power is of God. Thou couldst have no power over me, except it were given thee from above. Hear that as present truth. No cycle of media, no rumor of war, no chart or ticker has authority to shepherd our soul. We live and move and have our being in God. Thank you, Father. I am home in thee. Consider again the marketplace of paint and canvas. The untrained eye sees only clumps of color, thick strokes that look like chaos. Stand too close, and you might pronounce the work a mess. But an artist, and you are learning to be one in spirit, steps back, perceives the composition, the light source, the hand of the master. Life is such an exhibition. Circumstances are the canvas. The masterwork is God. Prayer is the training of sight. We look through the strokes of the day to the artisan who holds all in wise proportion. We do not worship the brush marks. We adore the artist. God is the Word. God appears in the midst of us as the Word, and the inner Word orders our seeing until the clamor becomes composition and the fear falls away. Only good, only good. Now take up the filter of mercy. We do not wear the filter of panic or profit. We ask gently and truly, does this report call for compassion and prayerful presence, or does it merchandise fear? If the inner tone is pressure, hurry, threat, let it pay us. It is a stranger, and a stranger will we not follow. If the inner tone is, be not afraid, it is I then. Perhaps we ought to kneel within for a moment, to hold a name in light, to make one calm call, to give one steady gift. The little stranger within will indicate, my sheep hear my voice. The guidance is never shrill, never shaming, never hooked to urgency for its own sake. It carries peace as its watermark. Here is the paradox that ends the tug of war. God is not power in competition with any other. What would God contend with God? There is only one presence, therefore there is only one power. When we cease imagining a rival energy, the rope drops, the strain ends, and we stand free. Never give power to appearances. Refuse to lend your breath to a second cause. In that refusal, the hooks fall from the headlines. They can inform, but they cannot impale. So we practice a simple exchange. Before the scroll, a stillness. Before the shout, an inward nod. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. We look, we choose, we serve, yet none of these things move us. We receive what is ours to know, release what is not ours to carry, and remain at home while passing through our day. God is the Word in the midst. We are the hearers, and hearing we keep our peace. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. Let us make this practical a rule of holy attention, a gentle liturgy for our day. We will not leave our peace to mood or to accident. We will choose our rhythm. Morning and evening, we set brief windows to look upon the news, and we bracket those windows with silence. Silence before, silence after. Be still and know that I am God. Before the window opens, we sit 1 minute with God as our breath. After the window closes, we sit 1 minute with God as our breath. God is the Word. God appears in the midst of us as the Word. In that bracketing, information takes its rightful chair, and fear is not given the keys to the house. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. Take a timer. Let it be your deacon. Choose 3 minutes, 5 at most, for your window. Do not wander. Do not graze. We are not cattle driven by a feed. We are sheep who know the shepherd. One headline, one prayer. Read, then close the eyes, listen within, and place the matter back into the one presence. End when peace says stop. If peace leaves, you have stayed too long. In quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. Here is our simple rule, A3. Acknowledge, attend, act. First, acknowledge one presence, one power. Whisper, the Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Let the sentence say you. Second, attend, turn the ear inward. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. No pushing, no plotting, just the quiet consent to be led. God is the Word. God does not send counsel from a distance. God appears as counsel in the heart. Third act, the Spirit-led step, often small, always unhurried. Perhaps a call, a gift, a line written, a silence kept. I can of mine own self do nothing, and so the doing that follows is light, exact, and free of panic. Let your body be sanctuary, not staging ground for alarm. The nervous system can be discipled by stillness. Soften the jaw. Let the tongue rest. Loosen the belly. Let the breath fall like rain upon a quiet field. Shoulders drop. Brow unknits. Feel the chair receive you. Feel the ground carry you. Feel the word arise within as living ease. We live and move and have our being in God. Breathe as one who is breathed by God. Only good, only good. Adopt a weekly fast, fast from outrage. Feast on testimonies of good. One day each week. Touch no baited quarrel. Share no barbed report. Instead, gather witness. A kindness seen, a healing heard, a neighbor helped, a door opened where none seemed. Whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, think on these things. Not denial, discernment. We are training sight for reality. Never give power to appearances. This is ordered attention. Informed yet indwelt, alert yet at rest, available and unafraid. The world may shout, the shepherd leads. My sheep hear my voice, and a stranger will they not follow. Keep the liturgy, keep the rule, acknowledge, attend, act, and in the going and the coming, the bracketing hush holds you. None of these things move us. Thank you, Father. We are home in Thee. We have spoken of hearing. Now we speak of who it is that we hear. Today it is in me as a little stranger, the gentle Christ within, unassuming, patient, never forcing, always present. The little stranger within me whispers and says, be not afraid, it is I. At first it seems a visitor. We look over our shoulder and wonder who speaks. But as we give it room, as we yield our seat, we discover that this is not a guest. This is the rightful life of the house. Thank you, Father. I am home in Thee. Self-will is noisy. The little stranger does not shout. Self-will says, I must fix it. I must rush. I must gather outcomes in my hands or the world will break. The Christ within says, I can of mine own self do nothing. And in the same breath lives as everything needed in its hour. This is not passivity. This is true activity. I live, yet not I. Christ liveth my life. Hear that as instruction, not ornament. When the alarm rings, report, siren, message, tear, we take our acknowledge, attend, act, and we place the reins not in panic's hand, but in presence. We acknowledge one presence, one power. We attend within until peace nods. Then we act as moved, no more, no less. None of these things move us, and the actions differ. Spirit-led outcomes are a varied garden. Today it is a gift, money moved quietly, without trumpet. Tomorrow it is a call, one neighbor, one voice, one warm listening. Another day it is a line written to a representative, to a friend, to the one who forgot they were beloved. Often, oh often, it is a silence kept, a prayer held as steady light, no performance, no report. The shepherd knows the path for each sheep. My sheep hear my voice, and a stranger will they not follow. What marks the act as Christ's is not its size, but its source. It rises in assurance, not anxiety. It carries peace as its watermark. The wrath of man does not work the righteousness of God. Therefore, we decline performative outrage. We let love set the boundary. We choose quiet effectiveness over loud heat, substance over show. Trust the timing. The inner shepherd orders steps and seasons. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He leadeth me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He that believeth shall not make haste. There are moments to move at once, a door to hold, a wound to bind, a horn to sound. There are hours to wait, a night of prayer before a morning of speech. A student told me the little stranger woke her at dawn with a single name. She kept the name in light and called it 9, not at 5. I was just about to give up, the friend said. The shepherd had the hour. Only good, only good. From here on in, let it be our confession and our consent. From here on in, little stranger, live my life, choose my tone, appoint my pauses, spend my strength as thine. Then compassion is no longer panic dressed in virtue. It is presence in motion, meek, exact, sufficient. God is the Word. God appears in the midst of us as the Word, and the Word walks our street in our shoes. We remain informed but not inflamed, tender but not torn. The world may shout, love does not hurry. Fear not, little flock, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. In that pleasure we serve, and in that serving we rest. Thank you, Father. We are home in thee. Proof helps the heart rest, not proof to win an argument, but witness that calms the nerves and says, see, it lives. In the valley, it lives. During the nights of the London Blitz, a couple I came to know were offered space in a public shelter. They were grateful, but they did not let fear be their shepherd. Each dusk they sat in their small flat with a single candle, and they practiced what we practice: acknowledge, attend, act. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. They listened. Some nights the inner word said, stay, pray, keep tea hot for whoever knocks, and they stayed. Neighbors came shaking, dusty, under the weight of sound, and found a quiet room, warm cups, a psalm whispered. Other nights the inner word said, go now to No 14. Put your hands on that door. They went, they knocked, they led 2 elders down, just as a wall surrendered to the sky. Not bravado, not recklessness, only obedience to the word that appears in the midst. Thou couldst have no power over me, except it were given thee from above. When the all clear sounded, they counted heads, mended small cuts, shared bread. Their flat, ringed with rubble, stood. They would say, we did not keep ourselves. Presence kept us and sent us. None of these things moved us. A commuter wrote me from a stalled train on a hard morning. He said, I felt the heat rise in my chest, the story begin late again, life against me. But then he remembered the minute. He closed his eyes and breathed. Acknowledge one presence. Attend. Speak, Lord. And the little stranger within said, look to your left. A young man sat there, eyes red, hands shaking. The inner word, offer your seat and your ear. He did. The delay became ministry, not meltdown. A simple listening, a shared verse in quietness and in confidence shall be your strength. And the young man, it turned out, was on his way to a difficult meeting. You just changed my day, he whispered when the train moved. Do you see? The tracks were the same. The traveler changed. Less reactivity, more mercy. Only good, only good. And in the newsroom, yes, even there one of our friends keeps the A3 rule. Deadlines cry like trumpets, metrics glare, and yet morning and noon she brackets her windows with stillness. Acknowledge one presence. Attend. Which story is mine to steward? Run the piece that serves, not the one that merely stirs. She has learned to test the tone. Is it panic or presence? Twice, following the inner word, she refused to amplify an unverified flash. Both times the story later collapsed. Ethics strengthened. Peace and urgency. Another day she was led to pair a hard report with a practical helpline and a quiet profile of neighbors helping neighbors. Letters came in. Thank you for not frightening us. Thank you for showing the way through. And provision followed in surprising form. A donor funding a deeper, careful investigation. A colleague volunteering nights to check facts. A supervisor once skeptical saying, keep that compass. I can of mine own self do nothing. But God appears in the midst of us as the Word, and the Word orders the desk as surely as the sea. What do these witnesses speak? That inner assurance births outer wisdom, service, and quiet protection. Less reactivity, more mercy. Doors open that fear would never find. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Not recital experience. We live and move and have our being in God. Never give power to appearances. Hear, and then go where you are sent. In the hearing, the valley becomes a passage, not a prison. Thank you, Father. We are home in thee. We go out as we came in together, one flock, one shepherd. The world may shout, the shepherd does not need to. His voice is near, within, and unmistakable to the heart that has learned to listen. My sheep hear my voice, and a stranger will they not follow. We have seen enough to rest. The shouter is loud, the shepherd is near, the noise is varied, the presence is one. We are one in spirit, we are one in soul. None of these things move me, none of these things move us. Thank you, Father. We are home in thee. Let us gather the thread into a cord we can carry. God is the Word. God does not send the Word from a distance. God appears in the midst of us as the Word. Therefore, before any feed, we hear the Word. 60 seconds of holy consent. Speak, Lord, thy servant heareth. During any feed, we refuse to grant power to appearances. We read, but we do not bow. We attend, but we do not assign a second cause. After any feed, we return the matter to one presence. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Then we go about our day light-handed and open-eyed, only good. Only good. This is the vision I release to you because it is already yours. A people unhurried, unafraid, available for love in practical ways. Not withdrawn from the street, but walking it indwelt. Not numbed by statistics, but led to the one name, the one call, the one gift appointed for this hour. A people who can say in the doctor's office and in the market, on the phone and at the screen, I can of mine own self do nothing. And in that humility discover that everything needful is given when it is needed. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. We let the little stranger within take the keys and steer. We ride in peace. So this is our seal and our sending. Put on the armor of oneness each morning and keep it soft on your shoulders. Keep to your acknowledge, attend, act without hurry and without fear. Listen more than you speak. When you speak, let it be from assurance, not anxiety. Never give power to appearances. Let headlines inform, not impale. Let compassion move, not panic. And when in doubt, and there will be many moments, sit, hear, and proceed. Led, not driven. Be still and know that I am God. Blessing rests on you because blessing lives as you. The world may shout, the shepherd leads. We go now as one flock under one shepherd, calm, compassionate, and unmoved by the world shouting. Fear not, little flock, it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Thank you, Father, we are home in thee.